Hi.
That'll do.
Glad to be here, Tom.
Welcome to another episode of Dirt and Diesel. This is the first real pep talk. That's what I'm calling it from now on.
Nice.
The first actual pep talk of what's hopefully many. And today we're talking about the new Land Rover Defender. Because I don't know all that much about it, I've got my friend Matt with me.
Hi.
He's our resident Land Rover nerd. Is that okay to call you nerd?
That's fair enough, yep.
Our nerd with us. Yeah, we're going to look at what the spy shots are showing us, what it looks like now, and what we think it's going to look like in the future. All that's coming up next. And that's where the intro goes in.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Land Rover Defender.
The
new
Land Rover Defender, yeah.
Yeah, so there's been some spy shots floating around for quite a while now. I'd say, what, 12 months?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. There's been some speculation as to what it will be, how it will look.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, bam.
Bam.
A spy photo, an actual photo of Land Rover Defender in the James Bond.
That is right, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I like it, personally.
You like it?
I think there's going to be a lot of purists that don't like it for a number of reasons.
Would you consider yourself a purist?
I would say I was,
Okay.
but now I'm not.
Because you're in a Subaru.
Yeah, no, I was. But I think what you would consider a proper Land Rover, and getting that old now, you've got no choice but to upgrade to the newer stuff.
Yeah.
And I think once you get over the fear of the computers and all the technology in them, and once you get your head around that, they're one hell of a beast.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's people's biggest worries, isn't it? It's the same with tractors. It's like, oh, old schools are better because, like, you can fix an engine, but you can't fix a computer, kind of thing.
That's it. And I think now we're getting to the point where, you know, the diagnostic computers you can get for them, you know, the customization you can do on the computers, it's just another tool now. You know, it's just a bolt-on. And I think you've got to get past that because everything's going to be that way soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, as well, like, safety regulations have meant they had to change.
Yeah.
They can't just keep putting out the same thing,
That's
which I know is really what people want, like the enthusiasts want.
Yeah.
But they just can't.
No, they can't. You know, things move on.
Yeah.
You know, we do things now that we wouldn't have done, or we don't do things now that we would have done in the 60s and 70s for safety reasons. You know, it's just things progress.
So the reason we've got Matt with me today is because, like I said, I don't know that much about Land Rovers. I've never really spent that much time around them. I know you guys like them because you all seem to talk about them quite a bit on the channel. Matt, you've had quite a few Land Rovers in your time. You've been around them quite a lot. You've been a lot of the 4x4 off-roading clubs.
That's right, yeah.
What's your experience with it?
Quite a bit. I think I'm up to my 5th Land Rover, I think it's 5. So I've owned a petrol Freelander. I've owned a Discovery 1 300 TDI. I've owned a Discovery 1 V8, which is beautiful, but about 9 to the gallon, so that had to go. I've owned a Discovery 2, and I'm just in the market for a Discovery 3, so quite a bit of experience, I'd say.
And you know them inside out quite well.
Absolutely, I've done all my own work on them.
Yeah, which is what, like, I think Land Rover people want.
Yeah, that's it. You don't buy a Land Rover to get from A to B, you buy a Land Rover as a hobby.
Yeah. What was your initial thought process when these kind of photographs came out?
I mean, it's difficult to tell, isn't it, from those sort of photos. They've got the camouflage on purpose. You can sort of see the essence of the original Defender.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a 90-inch, short wheelbase. It's got that boxy look. It looks rugged, but you kind of get an inkling that there's a bit of a modern touch. Yeah, a bit of a modern touch to it.
Yeah. I know in talking to some of the Land Rover guys, they're all trying to work out what the different body panel shapes mean and what's this and what's that and why is that shape. I think they're obviously trying to throw you with some of it as well.
Yeah.
But now with the latest picture, that's the latest picture.
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to be shared around, but it's been shared around enough to where, you know, we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
I again, I'm not coming from an enthusiast's point
Yeah.
of view here, and I kind of understand that it's a commercial, it's a business decision to go the way they've gone rather than an enthusiast product.
Yeah.
But to me, it kind of looks like they're going down the route of the Jeep Wrangler crowd, less so than the utilitarian crowd.
Yeah.
So that's my approach on it. But again, we don't know any of the specs of the new thing.
No.
yet. I mean, unless you know.
We do know a few things have been confirmed.
Okay.
So, for instance, we know that it's monocoque, so no chassis.
Okay.
I believe the D4 was the last Land Rover to have a chassis and body separate. This will not have a chassis. It is a monocoque. A lot of people won't like that, but on the flip side, it gives you more space for your wheels. I know that sounds daft, but you've got the ability to put the strength elsewhere, not just in the chassis, so you can really widen up those arches, get some big wheels on.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We know that it's going to come with a air suspension option. Again, some people love it, some people hate it. I think all-round air was introduced in the Range Rover P38.
Yeah.
It had air suspension on the D2s at the back only for towing purposes. I think they nailed it on the D3, and I might get criticised for saying that, but the all-round air on a D3, when it's working, phenomenal. Really good ride quality, really, really capable.
That's the thing I probably want to touch on.
Yeah.
When it's working.
When it's working.
Land Rovers, when it's working.
Yeah.
So what's that all about? So again, coming from a non-enthusiast perspective,
Yeah.
from the outside in, it seems like, well, if you're going to spend that much time with like your spanners around this
Yeah.
thing, why? What's the thing?
I suppose it's the fun of understanding and the fun of working out what the hell's gone wrong this time.
I suppose it's like a grown-up Lego kit.
Yeah, it's a
Pull it
grown-up Lego
apart and
kit.
put it back together, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a highly advanced, highly twitchy adult Lego kit.
Yeah. So on the original, I say the original platform, the outgoing platform, the one that was.
Yeah.
We last saw it in 2015. Am I right?
Defender Classic?
Yeah.
Should we coin a phrase?
Yeah, we'll call it the classic. We last saw that in 2015.
Yeah.
Looking here,
Yeah.
it was used for a lot of platforms.
It was, yeah.
It was kind of, it was everything from like a short wheelbase 4x4
Yeah.
up to like a cherry picker crane body. There's so many options you could have.
This
and
is
the
it,
military choices. How can they apply that to the new platform, do you think? Because with it being the monocoque chassis,
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, quite frankly. And you've hit the nail on the head. The customization of the original Defender, the classic Defender, I think that's why people love it. You could see 100 and not one of them would be the same as another one in the 100.
Yeah.
Because they're so easy to modify. They're so easy to make a twin cab into the country estate version.
Yeah.
It's all bolt off, bolt on.
Yeah.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah.
Whereas the new one, you're not going to have that flexibility.
It seems like it'd be hard to even imagine a pickup version of this.
Yeah.
Which seems like the most basic form of a variant of the Defender.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
I'd be surprised. I really would be surprised, but you don't know.
We've seen that with the new Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah,
There's the
that's
pickup
true.
version of that, which I wouldn't have, I would not have said that would be looking at the Wrangler what you could make out of it. They have. I don't know.
I mean, what we do know is they're going to release the 90, so the 90-inch wheelbase first, short wheelbase. They are planning to release a 110 next year, and then there is rumours that they're going to actually do a 130, which is specialist stuff from the old range.
Yeah.
I do also believe it's been confirmed that they're going to have a sub-model, like they've done with the new Discovery, and have a Defender Sport.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be sort of like Suzuki Jimny sort of size.
Okay, so that's more like the everyman thought before.
Yeah, it's a bit more accessible, you know, and it's worked well for the Discovery. They've got customers driving Discovery Sports that would never have even considered a Land Rover before, and you've got the Evoque, which is the sub model of the Range Rover, and I think they're just going that way, just to try and appeal.
So I can see why, like, the diehards would say, no, that's a bad thing. That's not what it is. They've kind of wrapped this thing in bubble wrap. They put a bow on it, and trying to sell it to the masses.
Yeah,
I can understand.
I think your diehard Defender fan is going to sit in that, press the push start, see the digital dash light up, and go, not for me.
Yeah. I posted a picture of the new Defender on the Dirt and Diesel page, and I'm just going to go through some of the comments now and see what we think. Matt Stiles says, it just looks like a Discovery 4 crossed with a Range Rover. They've totally lost the plot on what the Defender was designed to be, and that was a workhorse.
I think the performance of this thing is going to be way above. So we know, like I said, it's a monocoque chassis, but there's considerable strengthening in from some of the photos you've seen.
Yeah.
With that air suspension, adaptive traction control, you know, you get your just adjustable height. It means when there's a dip or a trough, you've got as much wheel on the ground as you could possibly have. The D3s and D4s are phenomenal off-road. They're just not very reliable.
Right.
And I think it's going to share some of that capability, but it's got much bigger arches than the D3 and D4, so you're going to be able to get those bigger tyres on those mud pluggers. Yeah. You know, so again, I think it's going to come down to reliability. I think once it's proved itself as reliable, you might get a few converts, because it's certainly going to be capable.
Yeah, I think that's often the thing, isn't it, as well? When something new comes out, it's often, this is change. And I suppose, you know, it's not like most vehicles every 6-7 years get a refresh.
Yeah.
This didn't for a very long time. The Defender like kind of stayed as it was for a very long time. So it's been a big jump. It's not like, you know, it hasn't been gradual. It's been, we've kept it the same up until now. Big jump.
Yeah.
Within what, 3 years?
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, I understand.
I mean, the later Discoveries as well had electronic locking rear diff. Now, I would not be surprised if this thing has got locking diffs front and back. And if that is the case, phenomenal control, you know.
So it, like you say, it comes down to what they actually release, the features, and what's
and
under that skin. We're looking at pictures. A lot of people are making snap judgments at a photograph, a single photograph, without knowing actually what is its capability. Yeah. Matthew Hatton says, small Chelsea tractor, style over substance. Are they still going to build the 130 tippers? Like, I suppose that goes back to what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I know the 130 is in planning. Tipper, not a clue. Yeah. I'm curious to see where they go with this, because, like we've discussed, you know, the configurability of the old Defender is phenomenal. Yeah. Just not sure it's going to be there, because with the monocoque, your strengths all around,
I think it's just the progression of the company, because if you Land Rover was what it was, it kind of was built on the Defender, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's now Jaguar Land Rover, it's got to sell vehicles, it's just got to sell vehicles, and the 130 tipper just isn't what Jaguar Land Rover's going to focus on these days. It's just not, is it, I guess? I understand, you know, I think there's those people that want those things, but that's not the company anymore.
At the end of the day, Lamborghini started out as tractors, as you probably know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How many tractors do they make these days?
Quite a few, actually.
Oh, do they really? Okay. We don't hear about them.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it is the same regard. Like Lamborghini aren't known for their tractors, but next week we've got a Lamborghini guy on. Mark Kincaid, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. No wonder they're up in value with the modern crap. A Defender can live on, just stick a galvanised chassis under it, 300k mine's done, and it never misses a beat. Pulls well, what more can you ask for? I mean,
What more can I ask for? I want to ask for a vehicle that I don't want to pull the chassis out and galvanise myself. I understand what he's saying. Like, that's
it, yeah.
I've just bought a house, you know, I've got to take the roof off and redo the foundations. What more can you ask for? I want a house I can move into, you know what I mean? And that's like kind of touching on reliability there, where like, I think for like $2 or $3 grand, if you're after reliability, you can get an old Hilux, you know, 10 years old, and it'll just plough like a train. That's, you know, I think we're beyond that now. I think if you're taking your chassis out and galvanising it, you're an enthusiast.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not this old trusty thing anymore. It's this is what I want. That's what this is. But yeah, I think the 300k miles thing, I guess you treat it well, it treats you well.
This is it, yeah. I mean, it's probably like Triggs broom. It's had 4 handles and 21 heads, but still going, and that's the important thing.
yeah. It looks tidy. He left a picture of it on the comments.
It's nice.
It's got a snorkel.
So, something we haven't discussed. I actually owned a 110 briefly for about a year. I found it very, very uncomfortable because I'm quite a big lad, as you can probably tell, and I just didn't fit in it.
Right.
So, I mean, there's that to consider. What sort of cab space you're going to get in this thing compared to one of the older ones.
Yeah. And I think with modern Jaguar Land Rover thinking, they're probably treating it more like a car on the inside.
It's going to be very comfy, yeah.
And
I think that plays in with the air suspension. You know, it's going to have manners on the motorway, but get you out of the stuff when you need it to.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going for, a more versatile in that sense.
Yeah. That looks like it's got a built-in winch.
Yeah.
Could that be an option? Or could that be an aftermarket?
Could be.
I mean, obviously this one's...
This is done for the film. This is done for the film. But it's not unheard of for them to offer a factory winch. I believe they did on the D4. Not sure about the D5, but they definitely did on the D4.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. And they also offer bull bars, but not in the UK, because they're illegal.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But they're not in Australia and that, so you can purchase factory bull bars and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So one thing that has cropped up as well from a couple of the magazines that have test drove this thing, it has still got the side opening door, which, you know, is in keeping with the original.
Yeah.
What I wonder is what they're going to do with the spare tyre. Are we going to have a spare tyre? Because a lot of these modern cars have, you know, just a pump and some gunk to get you home.
Don't even have a space saver anymore like that.
That beaut.
That's from the classic Defender.
You know what that needs? Galvanising.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so I know it was a bugbear of a lot of people, the underslung tyre on the Range Rovers, the D4s, the D5s. They're on a winch, which you winch up from the boot. Not very good, easy to snag up, even easier to cut and nick.
Right.
And you'll find on the internet a lot of aftermarket covers, steel covers, to stop people nicking the spare tyre. Yeah. Because it's such a prolific thing. Yeah. Especially if you go to Creamfields, apparently.
Oh.
So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that one.
Yeah. We've seen a few Photoshop concepts, what people have thought the new Defender is going to look like. They've kind of used influence from, I'd say, like the Range Rovers and other models to kind of, and the classic Defender, obviously, to style this. If I'm being honest, I kind of prefer some of them designs to what we've actually been presented with.
Yeah.
The styling on the front leaves a lot to be desired. I know if it was the utilitarian 4x4 that it's supposed to be, then that shouldn't matter, but it's kind of drifted. I don't know, I feel like it's lost that a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, there's a lot of things about the old Defender that they've tried to keep. So, you know, you've got the wings that come right up to the centre of the bonnet, so it's one big piece. Yeah. You're going to have massive room for the wheel travel in there. You know, I can see they've got a bit of checker plate on like you would get on the original Defender. Yeah. I can sort of see where they're going with the lights, you know, a modern take on. Yeah. But, you know, we're miles away, you know.
Do you think they've probably worked out a way to still have, like, bolt-on, bolt-off wings in a modern way that suits modern cars?
Possibly. possibly. I mean, that sort of alludes to it, doesn't it? There, how it does come up and round.
You know, so it could have that like
Yeah.
modernist styling on the outside, probably modernist structure, but still kind of, you know, modular for those kind of people. I don't know.
It's going to be interesting because, you know, as we've said multiple times, it's a monocoque design. They've done it for safety reasons, which means it's going to have to be NCAP tested. Which means crumple zones. So how they incorporate that into a bolt-on, bolt-off part.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Who knows?
Yeah, regulations are determining a lot about the design of this thing.
Yeah.
What do you think? What would you like to see on the new Defender? What features from the old one would you like to bring forward? What features would you hope that they'd like to add to the new one? Let me know in the comments. It'd be good to hear what you think. We could probably talk about that in a future episode. It's competition time. You can win yourself a free Dirt and Diesel sticker. I should have one to hand really, shouldn't I? But I don't. Anyway, yes I do. No I don't. It's competition time. You can win yourself a free Dirt and Diesel sticker. All you got to do is answer this one simple question, something we've already talked about earlier in the video. What movie set was the final spy shot photograph, this one here, taken from? If you answer that in the comments, one correct commenter will get a free Dirt and Diesel sticker. Yeah, Matt, thanks
Thank
for this.
you.
Please come on again, because like I've enjoyed it. You're my first actual guest
Yeah.
on Pep Talk.
I'm very pleased that I'm your first.
This could, I'm so glad you went easy on me. Yeah, I hope there's many more, and I hope you're on many more episodes in the future. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button because, like I say, hopefully there's many more of these types of shows. If you're watching this on Facebook, hit the like button, hit the share button. Please give the page a follow. If you're watching this on Instagram, then, you know, do Instagrammy stuff. Until next time, see you then.